So, as one of the largest tech events in the world, Dreamforce transforms San Francisco for the Salesforce community in an annual spectacle like no other. But with thousands of sessions and many activities, this massive event can be overwhelming. So this year, the Salesforce events team partnered with Eventbase, to create a mobile app with brand new capabilities and more personalization than ever before. The result? Dreamforce attendees enjoyed a mobile experience that is second to none. So today, Brianna Jackson, Senior Manager on Salesforce events team, along with JJ and Cameron from Eventbase, we're going to hear about the challenges and the triumphs in launching innovative technology at such a massive event. We're going to learn about the importance of event personalization, strategies to drive attendee engagement on site, and the importance of usability testing to better understand attendee needs. I will use no more of their time. I will hand you over to the guys. Good luck. I'll see you for questions in a little while.
Thanks so much, Tim.
JJ.
Cameron, thanks everybody for coming to attend. It's great to see everyone here. Hopefully the event's been good for everybody. Head nods. I feel like we need to be at the silent disco right now.
In a previous life, JJ was a promoter and a DJ, so he knows all about that.
Great stuff. So yes, we are here to talk about Salesforce Dreamforce. We're very excited about the partnership that we've been able to forge with Salesforce with Eventbase, and a lot of findings here to share with everybody, and really looking forward also to your questions after.
Indeed, indeed. And just for everybody just watching on the screen here, in terms of what we're going to be covering in the next sort of like 40 minutes, some introductions, sort of who we are, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about Eventbase, a little bit more about Salesforce, their flagship event, Dreamforce. And then after that, we're going to hop in and talk about, that experience. And Bree's going to provide some insight, in the overarching Dreamforce experience and how, the mobile app was woven into that. And then we'll end it off talking a little bit about some usability testing. And then we want to leave plenty of time here for questions as well for all of you. So without further ado, introductions. All right, Bree.
Oh, this is for me. Okay. So I'm a product manager at Salesforce, and my core role and job is to drive innovation at our events. And so anything new and awesome that we want to try, it starts with myself and the team that I'm on.
Awesome.
And JJ Mumick, I've been with Eventbase for 9 years. Joined after a stint, as Cameron mentioned, in production development, but got to be a part of event technology, delivering the mobile app on the delivery side, and now overseeing our entire sales and delivery team, making sure that our clients have the same touch points and interactions right from the first touch point right to the end.
Awesome. Thanks, JJ. And then gang, myself, Cameron McCormack. I've also been with Eventbase for 9 years. I'm on the new partnership acquisition side, or like outbound sales side of the house here, and I work quite closely with JJ. He's my boss. So, and I was also the one that was fortunate enough to work as a part of the team to earn the business of Bree and Salesforce a couple years ago, coming out of the pandemic here. So. All right, a little bit of background on Eventbase and who we are. So we've been around since 2009, so essentially since like the dawn of mobile apps. We're based in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, in case you guys are wondering where the accent's from. And the first big event actually that we got started on was the Vancouver 2010 Olympics. At that time, our co-founders were working loosely with VANOC, or the Vancouver Olympic Committee. And that was right around the time, as we all know, where the iPhone and the iPhone 3GS and apps were becoming a thing. And just, serendipitously, our co-founders were like, hey, you know what? Like, the Olympics needs a mobile app. And they took the idea, they pitched it to VANOC. VANOC said, sure, kicked them some change. And they sort of bootstrapped it. And what that did, guys, was it really sort of set our trajectory as an organization to live within the tier 1 event space of the world. And we've been super fortunate through the years. We do all sorts of large conferences, trade shows, music festivals, film festivals. But where our sort of specialty lies is really in that enterprise technology sort of area. So the Salesforces of the world. And also, we are also according to our CEO, the world's most awarded mobile event app company as well. We've been very fortunate in 2020. We won the Best Event App Award here at ETL for the work we did on the Consumer Electronics Show. We also won in 2022 for our work with South by Southwest in Austin. And
I would be remiss to forget that we won last night for the Best Event App Award with our partnership with Salesforce for Salesforce Connections. So, little thing just to put right down there.
Excellent. Yes. So, very grateful to ETL and to everybody who voted and had input. And yeah, we're very, very excited to be awarded this. So, next up here, Bree. Talk about Dreamforce here. We got a little video here, guys, for you guys to watch. So we'll cue this up here.
Can you guys hear the audio?
Oh, there it is.
Calling all trailblazers. Yes, there is magic in the air. Can you feel it? It's everywhere and in everything. And it's available to everyone. We are at the dawn of a new era where data, AI, CRM, and trust help you connect with customers in a whole new way. So everyone can be an Einstein, where you can talk to your CRM and it can talk to you on a single platform with a 360-degree view of every customer. But we have to ask more of AI, don't we? Because if AI is the Wild West, well, who's the sheriff around here? Questions about governance and values, about trust and the safety of our data, about customer success, so AI's purpose is always clear. Responsible innovation paired with ethical use, committed to equality, and mindful of our impact. Because when we get this right, and we will, the sky is the limit. We can make a world where AI does what AI does best, so we humans can do what we do best and continue to prove that business is the greatest platform for change. This is Dreamforce, where innovation meets inspiration, meets entertainment. So raise your hands in the air, because it is gonna be, extraordinary. No, this ain't gonna be like any other Dreamforce. Welcome to the biggest AI event of the year. Welcome to Dreamforce.
Awesome, Bree.
I'm pumped. I want to go back.
It was an incredible event.
Do you want to, Bree, talk a little bit more about just like Dreamforce as a whole, just as an event?
Yeah, and I can talk about the importance of our events as well, and Dreamforce being the flagship one that is the most near and dear to our company and to our brand. I think everyone can agree, as a marketing function, events are incredibly important to accelerate growth and revenue within your organizations, and that's no different for us. It's also a way for us to directly connect with our attendees, with our customers, with our prospects, and allow some deep engagement with who we are, what our brand stands for, what the products are that we have showcasing. And so events ends up being core to our marketing function and our company in general.
That in-person aspect to things, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and as you guys can all see with Dreamforce, it's a very immersive experience too, which is another one of the important reasons for having the event in person. So, excellent. And then, of course, when it comes to the actual, being on site, the mobile app really does serve as that single point of sort of truth when it comes to guiding the experience for attendees, and we were very fortunate to collaborate with Bree and the Salesforce team here in the development of the of the mobile app. And so, Bree, to that point, thoughts, comments, how did you feel that the app was received this year?
Oh, the app was the best it's ever been. And that's not just according to me, which I think it is, because I had a hand in it. But according to our customers and our attendees as well, we decided to drastically change the look and feel and the navigation and the usability of the app this year. And what we found is that our community really received it quite well. They were telling us how it was the best app they've seen, how easy it was to use. And we'll talk about some of the usability study results as well.
Yeah, awesome. Now, with an event of your sort of size and caliber, obviously personalization, super important, right? With people with different types of individuals that are coming to the event, different like badge types, badge holders, things like that. So personalization, really important to try to create an intimate experience, at such a large event, such as Dreamforce. So first things first here, this is something new. This was the Dreamforce quiz, and this was something that you guys launched this year. Can you share a little bit more about the idea behind it, the genesis for doing it?
Yeah, what we realized at the beginning of the cycle is that our attendees are still craving a way to easily navigate the event. Dreamforce, as you can tell, is very big with thousands of sessions and activities that you can do across 3 days. And so it was important for us to be able to guide that journey for them. And one of the many ways that we did it was through the Dreamforce quiz. It was a simple 3-question, multiple choice quiz that the output ended up being, here's the sessions you should go to, here's the activities you should go to. So pulling out some of those key pieces that they should be navigating on campus in an easily consumable way without having to scroll through and read the synopsis for thousands of sessions for the event.
And I think the key there was that it was short, it was quick, you got that information really quick from the attendees without overburdening them with the various hundreds of questions you typically see during registration.
Yes, exactly. And it wasn't something that required onboarding for them to learn how to use this new tool. It was really simplistic. The adoption was really great on it. And it's the first step that we're taking to actually enhance that type of experience and really deliver true personalization for our attendees.
Awesome. The next big thing here, though, when we talk about, you hear Bree, she's talking sort of some keywords like journey, personalization, things like that. This was the big feature for Eventbase, this year. We worked very closely as well with Salesforce on the development, and we've rolled it out at a number of their events here. The latest one being at Dreamforce. We call it Discover, and we basically sort of coin it as being the most personalizable home screen of any mobile event app that you see out there on the marketplace. And the idea here is that we're able to surface pre, during, and post-event all sorts of different content and actions. And so the idea is that maybe based on a role type or a badge type, Bree and team from Salesforce were able to build out different types of journeys. All right, and you can sort of see in the top portion here of the app here, very contextual with imagery, call to actions, sub-call to actions, redirects. But then in the bottom here as well, we're able to surface, based on that Dreamforce quiz, recommended content, what's coming up next in the in the schedule. And so I guess Bree, how did you guys, when we first introduced this idea to you, because nobody else has this out there in the marketplace, how did you guys go about utilizing it for Dreamforce this year?
Yeah, so we really wanted to drill into those personalized custom experiences, even if it wasn't going to be fully dynamic based on who they are. So we had 24 different screens across the entire journey, and we segmented it out by the role and their function on site. And so something that an employee would get, the CTAs, the messaging, even the highlighted and recommended activities are going to be different than what we would serve up to an executive leader or to a general attendee. What we saw is that those CTAs that you see up there were received really high engagement. Our click-through rates were a lot higher than what we had anticipated. And so what we're seeing is, along with ways of like using push notifications, because somebody is always opening the app, this is the first thing they're going to see when they go to actually try and navigate to check their schedule. And so we can highlight some really important pieces, like taking the survey after the keynote and then transitioning to another message and CTA maybe afterwards, and even as we progress and finish up the event, we can elongate the journey just by using this single screen.
And Bree, I think we were just talking before the session that you were still seeing activity in the app today, post-event, and getting these activities throughout the event, life of the event, to see how the app dynamically changes, content changes, gets them to learn that it's not just going to be static and something I put away after the event. So it helps to really, engage those attendees for a longer time.
Yeah, absolutely. This was the first year that we saw engagement happening long after the event. So for context, Dreamforce was in the middle of September, and we're still seeing people on the app, which historically we haven't seen. And so this is a really exciting moment for us to actually influence our roadmap to take into account that elongated journey and being able to continually connect with our audience even after the event is over.
Right. Next up, gamification. JJ?
Yeah, gamification has always been big at Dreamforce. The trailhead, journey that all the participants, engage in. And Bree, tell us a little bit more about how the game evolved this year and how the mobile app played a part in that.
Yeah, historically, our gamification called Quest is something very much loved by our community. So this is our administrators, our developers, the architects. They love participating in Quest. And for the events like Trailblazer DX, it makes total sense to cater that game around them. However, for Dreamforce, our audience is a lot broader, and we didn't want to leave out the rest of our attendee base there. So we did expand Quest to be inclusive of all audiences, and not to be something that was really difficult to obtain, but something that they were naturally already doing, and maybe taking them another step or two along their journey, like maybe another session, maybe another activity or thing to visit that would help them complete that quest.
Great. In addition, I guess, to gamification, networking, always part of the foundation of any Dreamforce. I think this year you guys brought on board an organization called Brain Dates that specializes in that overall networking experience here. And as you can see, this is an experience with a partner that, working together between all of the organizations, we're able to bring in seamlessly into the platform. But Brain Dates is unique in terms of the different ways that people are allowed to engage and create connection. So Bree, can you dive deeper into that and talk a little bit more about how people were able to engage? And
and before we do that, Bree, I remember while we were on site, the Brain Dates activation was really cool. There were swings, a swing set in the park where me and Bree took a meeting, and it was.
Was there really?
Yeah, it was really interesting and fun to be there. It was a unique activation, but really helped for attendees to also participate and engage while on site. And this was a new activation this year.
Yeah, it was. Again, we've been hearing, we take very seriously the feedback that we're getting from our attendees, and we do our best to take it and implement something. So networking at events is seen as one of the primary drivers of actually going to the event, outside of having a finger on your pulse of what's going on in the industry. So bringing in Brain Dates, I was overwhelmed by how great it was received, the amount of space that we had actually on site, and the amount of topics that people were creating. And if anyone hasn't participated or has ever used Brain Dates, it's all driven by your attendees. So they're the ones creating topics that matter to them. It's going to allow engagement on a one-to-one or one-to-few basis. And because it's a topics-driven conversation, it allows a more free-flowing conversation to actually happen. And I actually created some and participated in some, and it was really great to see even the introverts participate in those types of conversations. They were going outside of their comfort zone because of how important networking is. And so I'd love to see more networking, and the app to actually be the backbone of it to help us facilitate it on site.
And I think that was the key, right? The technology is never going to make networking happen alone. The live aspect, it has to complement it, it has to start it, initiate it. And with partners like Braindates, who we integrate with so well, they're able to take it that next step, make it happen. When you show up, you can create your own. When it's that easy, it becomes much easier for you to want to do more at the event.
Yeah, absolutely. This worked out really well for us.
Amazing. Next up, we got the recap portion. So this was more post-event with the platform, and Bree, sort of break down sort of what you guys were trying to accomplish here with the with the recap piece here and in the app here that we saw, that we're watching.
Yeah, so I talked a little bit about elongating that journey, and so the app historically has been dead-ended, right? And this was a way for us to bring an experience into the app and actually make the engagement just a little bit longer. And so the recap was a fun way of recapping their experience of what they had. It didn't go too deep. It was really light and fun, but the goal of it was to get them to do something nextwards. Share it on social, go into Trailhead to further their learning journey, go on to Salesforce Plus, our digital platform, to look at more on-demand content. Basically anything that we could do that takes them to that next step so that they can stay involved within what our brand and product is.
Amazing. And then on-site usability testing. JJ.
So just a show of hands, was anyone here actually at Salesforce Dreamforce? It is by far one of the most engaging events, as Cam mentioned. It's a beautiful production, wonderful, and we were lucky enough to probably have the most unique venue for us to conduct usability testing, where we had the Airstream camper here that you can see. That's our CEO, Jeff, in front of it, where we were actually able, on the park out front of Moscone, conduct our usability testing right inside there. And so some of our staff sitting there setting up for that usability testing. It was really great. Bree, thanks for making that happen. It certainly helped us get volunteers to come in to provide some meaningful feedback and insights on the app. And Bree, as you mentioned, we've done some things differently this time around. We had really compressed the side navigation shown in the mobile app, something we'd never really considered or done before. And we were really looking for some feedback on that, as well as other features and functionality. What were the sort of most interesting things you found out after we conducted our usability study?
Yeah, I mean, I love when we do usability studies because we're able to learn things that we can gut check our hypothesis of looking at the navigation, completely revamping it. Was it the right choice? But then we're also getting some feedback that maybe we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And it's a little bit more informational than what maybe we would see in a survey that's looking at the entire event instead of something very specific that we care about. And so what we saw was that people found the app super easy to use. And that, of course, made me happy because that was the whole point, is if you can make it easy to use, you're going to see them spend more time in the app. You're going to see them navigate to more places within the app. And it's going to be the hub of, that's going to be the tool that we want it to be for their journey while they're on site. So we saw some great feedback coming from just general of how well the app was utilized.
And conducting the usability studies on site while attendees are using the app was so meaningful to get, just like you mentioned, surveys post-event, either they're not willing to provide that information or they've forgotten the challenges. So it was really great, even for myself, to see some of that immediate feedback. We immediately realized maybe we'd gone too far with the side menu navigation. Maybe we need to bring the map out and make sure that's a quick, easy to find menu navigation item. The personalization on Discover, how well it was working. I really enjoyed to see and hear from the attendees while we were right there in front of them to see exactly how that feedback came through. And again, who wouldn't want to come and just hang out in the Airstream there? So
yeah, it was great. And now we have all sorts of roadmap items we can work on together.
And I continue to make sure that we can try to get that Airstream for our next study.
We'll get it next time.
Excellent. Gang, that's all we have for you on the platform here. But certainly, wanted to leave plenty of time here to open things up for questions, conversations. So.
I just wanted to know, for the app, did you have anything that was brand new or was innovational that you'd never done before, that you felt really brought something to the whole experience?
Probably 50% of the app is actually pretty new. So everything that we showed today around the quiz, the recap, the Discover screen, and those personalized activities that we were trying to get users to navigate to, all of that was new at Dreamforce this year. So we did a lot. We hit the ground running really hard. I think in 2020, it was about just like the potential of, or 21, potentially bringing back some events in a safe way. And last year we spent a lot of time just bringing them back to scale. And this was the year where we could say, all right, now let's let technology drive a lot of these experiences and enhance them in a meaningful way. And a lot of this came through within the mobile app.
Excellent. Any thoughts? Oh, that's right. All right, next question. How do you project manage timelines needs for an event this size?
Boy, yes. Coming from the delivery side, it's not easy. Now, typically for most flagship events similar to Dreamforce, a typical production schedule is 12 weeks. Definitely longer. I mean, we're already planning for next year's event now, but the delivery cycles are a little longer for sure. I think specifically for this event, we were talking about 20 weeks. Is that about right, Bree?
Yeah, and I think we started some light conversations in February, September event. So and then now we're even starting earlier.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Next question.
Oh, here we go. Did Eventbase do all the building creating, or was there a front-end system that the planner can enter and or change the content?
Yeah,
JJ?
maybe I'll answer that. So certainly we work very closely with the design team. I mean, Salesforce and Dreamforce are such well-designed brands and activations, but our designers take that within our framework and apply their design brand guidelines, and through some revision rounds, working closely with Bree and team and their designers, were able to come back with that look and feel. There are elements too that exist outside of the app, some web properties that the app links to, and we did a lot to make sure that those matched in that manner as well.
Well said. Thanks, JJ. Next up here, what percentage of adoption of your event apps do you achieve pre-show, and how do you improve that when actually on site?
Marketing an app is hard. It takes a lot of on-site signage and important things like that. I think the benefit for Salesforce is that we have the container app, and that app has all of Salesforce's events in there. So having just attended an event prior to Dreamforce, they'll see that event come live on their event selector screen. They'll be able to get in there. So that was very important. I do recall seeing all throughout the event there was signage to make sure folks were reminded to download the app, download with the QR code, and that was very beneficial. We certainly saw, as typically happens the day before the event is when there's the huge spike, but there was definitely more of a ramp up in the week before.
Do you ever see a world where you don't surface all available sessions to attendees because there's so many, and only show curated recommended lists?
I don't think we will ever not showcase all of the sessions. There's always a place for them to go through them. And what was interesting in some of the usability studies was that some people just they like that scrolling and just to kind of see what grabs their attention. But what I do see us doing more of is like surfacing, like, and making it easier to find, like, I'm in this location, what sessions or activities can I go to here and get there quickly? That might be something that we actually look for in the future.
Great. Next up, when are you launching the app before the event to the participants? So go live.
Yes, the go live date. I mean, I think for Dreamforce we were aiming for 4 weeks.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks, 2 weeks before for the event, and that seems to be how it's working out. But there's some tests in the future to elongate that a little bit, and maybe coincide the launch with something like Agenda Builder launch, so that you're giving your attendees a way to, like, meeting them on their terms. Not everything can be a web experience. They might actually prefer an app experience and want to start building out their agenda or viewing the sponsors within a mobile experience over a web experience. So I think giving them that choice is important.
Great. Sorry. How do you keep people engaged in the app post-event? What is it that makes them go back into the app time and time again?
So what I think happened this time, which hasn't happened previously, is that we used our own AI, generative AI, to actually summarize a takeaway for all of our sessions. And so within the app, you could actually look at those takeaways. So if somebody wasn't able to go to the session, they'll be able to see a synopsis of what happened and, like, those key points that they may want to take back to their team, along with a way of seeing the on-demand video and taking them to our Salesforce Plus platform. So I think that had a big part in making this a longer experience for us.
Great. How easy was it to create the questionnaire with so many variables, seminars, etc., to make sure the results were accurate?
Not easy. So anything that requires custom development and a Scrum team and some architecture and a lot of integration points, because we did integrate with both RainFocus and with Eventbase to deliver this. While it seemed very simplistic, which was the point, it actually did take a couple months for us to do discovery and development on it.
Awesome. What other integrations were used in the app, like Braindate? JJ?
We also had an integration with Jiffle Now for private meetings. Obviously with RainFocus for all of the functionality there for surveys, session data, etc. I believe that was it from an integration standpoint. We have some partners that also we integrate with for services like push notifications and other things like that.
Excellent. Does the app capture leads which automatically go into Salesforce?
Yeah, we're not really using the app for that purpose. We have lead retrieval devices for all of our sponsors and internal sponsors and demos. And so all of that information is housed with RainFocus and using their applications, and it all flows directly into their system and then flows into our sales CRM.
Great. For Bree, can you share more about your team structure and who is required to implement the app at Salesforce?
Yeah, so we actually made some changes where we have a dedicated product team, which has never happened before at Salesforce. So I'm part of that dedicated product team delivering event innovation for our top tier events. But we also have a team that is focused on operations and taking all the things that I'm bringing to an event, that our team is bringing to an event, and operationalize them and deploy them and make sure that they're well tested and that we're going to see success.
Awesome.
That is it.
That's it.
Feel
Awesome.
free to wrap up.
Thanks, guys.
Tim, thanks so much. Cam really wanted to take over your job there with the questions.
No, not at all. I'm glad you jumped in. So, guys, that's it for the sessions for a little while. We've got another one about 3:30, I think. We look forward to joining you then. But thank you so much to the panel. Thank you all for coming. Great event.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Have a
Excellent.
great rest of the event.
Thanks all.